Hey everyone, welcome to Decode Disrupt, where insight meets interruption. I'm Nicolette.
And I'm Gabby. So
Yep.
today, oh my God, many topics every day. I mean, every week is something new. But today we're going to talk about something. We're going to take a pause, right? And we're going to talk about the pause, right? That's basically what we're talking about. That space, the void, what we call that in between space when nothing's really happening, but your old life is no more. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I need to put my phone on focus. It keeps going off. Um, that space, that liminal space in between where in between your old life and your new life and nothing's happening and it feels like you're not making any progress. That's what today's episode. Um, so typically what triggers that is a change in how you used to operate. You set the boundary, you end the relationship, you stop chasing the thing, and you decide what you want internally, right? It's a conviction thing, right? For you. And when you finally stop doing that, nothing happens for a while, right? What do you gotta think? What is that nothing liminal space like? What am I supposed to be doing, Nicolette? What is
Gabby,
I'm still navigating that space.
same. And I love that we don't wait because there is no perfection there.
Yeah,
We just keep elevating and expanding. So look at us too, just saying, let's go, let's talk about this. And especially from a
yeah,
neuroscience, psychological background, right? Yeah.
yep.
So this is the part nobody is prepared for. I feel like the powers that be or God, source, whatever, if they gave us that answer, then what's the point of the human life, you know?
The human experience.
Yeah, it's an experience, an experiment, exactly. We expect transformation to immediately produce evidence. And my mind goes to that just seems systemic because everything we do, right, is tied to what grade did you get? Did you get the promotion? Did you get the thing? It's like this to that, right? So we're kind of like
Yep,
trained to think like that. And it's like, I need
absolutely.
a decision. Where's the new life?
Exactly. Okay, I made the decision.
Yeah, like circus clowns are gonna jump out and be like, "Oh, you made it."
You made it. You arrived. Walk through this door right here.
Exactly. It's like you can
It's
ask
called new life.
new like, "Yep, what's the result?" Because I stopped chasing, but why hasn't anything arrived yet, Gabby?
Oh man, see, and we're still navigating that space. And this is what today's episode is all about, right? But I want to take time to harp on something real quick. I think sometimes when the evidence of the new thing or the new life or the impact of the new decision doesn't arrive like right away, our mind like immediately gets nervous, right? So we check, we analyze, we look for signs, we change the plan, we text the person, we apply for 17 other things, we pull another card, we watch another manifestation video, and we decide, well, maybe I did this wrong, made the wrong decision, maybe I should go back, you
Right?
know. Yeah.
All those maybes and guilty because as a tarot puller astrologist, it was like I thought I had the cheat code and I can like finesse the shit, and I would like look at my wheel and it'd be like, when's my life gonna get better, bitch? In 7 years. I'm like, okay, anyway.
Yep.
Or we manufacture problems because that's what the brain and the nervous system will do when there's
Well,
quiet if we're not on top of it.
yeah, we always do. We all do that. Guilty.
All right,
I
take a
think you're right
time.
because once we stop participating in the old life, right, the space before the new reality becomes visible, right? And today's episode we're gonna call this space the void, because for lack of a better word, right? But what if that space isn't actually just empty space, liminal space, the nothingness? You know, what if it's reality responding or reorienting? I think that's the better word. What if it's reality reorienting, right?
Yeah.
And what if the hardest part of transformation isn't just making the decision, right? It's becoming safe enough to stop interfering with it. Yeah.
Yep. Want to say hi to Erica. Thank you for being here. Marlena, afternoon. Antonio, thank you. And stop calling me out, says Marlena. Yeah, we've all
Oh, we're
experienced.
all guilty.
Yep,
It's
surrendering.
surrendering.
And I want to call Marlena out because I know you're really, really on point about when something happens, I'm going to surrender. Like you already interrupted that loop where you're like, so,
Yeah.
okay.
It took me a while. I'm hard headed. I'm a bull.
Oh my God, that is so funny. You brought that up in my
I don't
language.
surrender.
Yeah, it's called the Gasan Ulu, like you're hard headed. And they just be like, oh, you're so hard
Yeah.
headed. You're so hard headed.
Yes, I am. Surrender for what? What am I surrender? I don't wave the white flag. We do not negotiate with terrorists.
Yes, control freak.
Yeah.
100%. I know.
I'm not surrendering.
Okay.
Why? I'm bred and born for war. What do you mean surrender?
Child.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're
All
coming.
right. You ready to talk about our favorite part of the episode? Why this topic matters to us?
Yeah. You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this is where like manifestation, right, comes like interesting to me, right? So how do I attract it? How do I call it in? How do I make it happen faster? But there's a capacity that don't get discussed enough. I think we look at manifestation like this woo thing where you make the vision board and you visualize and you think about it in your mind and it just magically appears, right? But all it is a choice, right? You make the choice and then you align action. And I grew up in Christianity. Faith without works is dead. It's the same concept, right?
Okay.
Faith, put in the work, there it is. Same thing, right? And then we stop compulsively checking whether reality has already obeyed us yet, right? I
Mm,
think that requires a different kind of trust altogether, right?
I really love
I
that.
see, yeah, I see it just like faith. Okay.
Mm,
You decide what you want, you make the choice, and then you align your actions behind it, and then you keep action and action and action, and something's gonna come into fruition.
I love that you brought that up because I grew up in a Christian, situation. And
Yeah.
what comes up for me is like, I feel blessed that I grew up before iPhones and literally personal cell phones. Like I had a beeper. Did you have a beeper?
Other than that, I had a sidekick and a Motorola Razor
Ah,
and
dude.
Nokia. I think the oldest phone I had was the Nokia with the snake game on it.
Yeah. And I bring that up because it was like, I love technology. I'm not against it, but I just remember those innocent days where we get out of school and we're just like, we don't know. Like the internet really wasn't out yet. And we're just like, you hope and you wish for things, right? You have faith
Yep.
and you diligently do the thing. And that's all we did. And did we have angst and feelings of not being understood because we couldn't go on the internet and find like-minded people? Yeah, we had to sit with that shit. So with this
Oh.
topic's important to me because it goes back to like what you're saying. Like it's like gardening is an analogy, right? Like plant
Mhm.
the seed, don't dig it up. But there's something
Yep.
about it. This is a modern malady, I feel. And the funny thing is, like, we know more about manifestation laws, but we're also less patient and more
Yep.
demanding, instant gratification.
Yeah. Well, it's the gratification culture. Most things are
Exactly.
instant.
Yes.
AI is made it even worse.
Hmm. So it's kind
You
of like
know.
we underestimate our power, unseen forces, like what happens in our nervous system and our mind after we make a big decision. Like Gabby said, leave it alone. We don't. We
Mhm.
like need proof. And that's not necessarily bad, but it can be when you lose your faith. Okay. And so this can look like leaving something unhealthy and missing it. So this is where if you have a, duality consciousness perspective, I think it helps. You can create space and immediately want to fill it. You can finally get peace and suddenly start looking or creating something to worry about. So,
Absolutely.
right. So see how there's contradictory feelings. And I think the void is all about being uncomfortable and nothing making sense.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Patience is so hard, Marlena says, right? Marlena, I don't think patience is hard, right? I mean, it can be, but that you can absolutely master patience, right?
Tell us
It's
more, Gabby.
what you do in the way. Yeah, you can absolutely master. I'm the master of patience. Like, I can't talk too much about it, but you know the thing. They were trying to wait me out and think that I was gonna lose it. No, I'm the queen of patience. I'm probably the most patient person you're ever gonna meet in your life. But you find things to do in the patience, right? You can't control time,
Okay.
right? So it's what do you do with your time while you're being patient?
I like that. I think we're going to go deeper in that episode. For those of us like
Okay.
with you, Marlena, patience is something I have to like ask, call in, and yeah. So beautiful.
Yeah.
So a little bit before we go into the decode portion, and this is for Marlena. No, I'm just kidding. Safety before surrender, just because I know surrender is important to you. So last week's episode 14, today's episode is episode 15. So last week we asked, can you build a life where you don't abandon yourself? Today, we ask, now that you're not abandoning yourself, good on you. You mastered that in a week. Can you tolerate the quiet? Because without internal safety, right, and that's going to look and feel different to everybody, the void feels what? Threatening. All right. And when that feels threatening, what do? We can go back to old patterns. So the line here is sometimes we go back because the old life was better, easier, familiar. But sometimes we go back because the old life is louder. I don't understand that right now, but I don't know. I wrote that.
But you did. I think what you meant about I do the same thing. Like I'll write when I can't think of the word I want, I'll just put in the filler word and say I'm gonna go back and find the real word, and I never go back. I never go back.
I was like, it sounded good at the time. Right now it's coming out of my
mouth. Louder, I think when you say louder, it's familiar. So when you say louder, it's more like you don't know what to expect from what's to come because you don't know what's to come, right? Something that's loud isn't just octaves, right? It's I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for?
I like your train of thought. And as you're thinking, thank you, Heather.
Heather says louder. Yeah, it made sense when you said it to me too.
Okay, good. Because in my head, I was like, this is me. It's like, it could have been better. There's a better word for it. Thank you. Okay.
Louder makes it. Yeah.
Sweet. Moving on. Let's go to Decode. So moving into what is the void. And if you are in the chat, like, let us know what you think the void is, right? Like what it means to you.
Yeah.
Ooh. Go ahead, read what Alexi said. That looks hot.
Amplitudes are higher. I don't know what you mean by that.
It intrigued me, but yeah, there's room for interpretation there. Okay, so I'm going to start to talk about the void. So simply put, the void is the space between making said decision and any evidence, okay? I'm going to add from a quantum science perspective, if you're not keen to this, you can look for evidence to support your old life and patterns. So I really feel the void is a special place to really be present and say, this is different. That's a mantra that's been helping me in all my uncertainty right now is this is different. Because yeah, I'm feeling fear.
I like that.
Thank you. It's just different. And
I like that a lot.
The nervous system. Okay, let me feel in a safe.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, did you have a question?
Yeah. What do you mean? How do you navigate those moments when you recognize this is different? What's the difference between you recognize this is different and I'm going to trust it and surrender versus this is different and it's unfamiliar and I'm going to backtrack? How did you get to the point where you knew that this is different, but I have to be present?
You know, I feel like 2026 Gregorian New Year, which I don't celebrate as the New Year in my life. I think, the astrological New Year is more energetic for me. However, around New Year's, I was like, I think I'm going to stick with the word different because if I really look at my life, I don't know what I'm doing and where I'm going. And I know I'm going to be doing great shit, right? So I just said, can I treat everything that's new, out of my comfort zone, icky, as just different? And once I did, my nervous system, like I used to live like this, yeah? It's like, oh, it's just different. So I don't know that that's when I just said, and when I remember in times of distress, times when I'm like, how the hell am I going to do this? Like it goes back to your faith thing. I go, okay, this is different. I can do this. This is fun. And then it just starts, that's where insight meets interruption, right? I start to be the alchemist and the creator instead of the victim and the watching life happen to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. No, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
That was a great question. Thank you. So going back to decoding what is the void, it's between ending and beginning, which is, we could say that's always happening, but all right. It's between deciding and the becoming. It's kind of like you're in the pause of waiting for evidence, again, in your world to prove, right? This is a laboratory. So you're just like, where's the evidence? Yeah. So it can appear after the boundaries you've set, after breakups, career changes, identity shifts, changing habits, deciding that the old way of living is just no longer available. And so what happens, I love this line, the old reality lost its authority.
Yep.
So here's the void. The new reality may not fully be visible yet. And for my gardening friends, isn't that the excitement of waiting for the, the crop to grow? And you're like, oh my God, the bloom's here. So like Gabbi said, enjoy that knowing it's gonna bloom, it's gonna grow. It has no other choice. So, but that
Absolutely.
in between can feel empty and inactive. Empty and inactive are not the same thing, my friends.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I also think, because you said something, I thought about this. The void, right? It doesn't have to be happening in all aspects of your life at one time, right? You can
Oof.
go through a void moment, like she said, in any area, career, breakup, identity. Identity typically comes with a void everywhere else, right? That's the one that identity comes and everything seems to get interrupted, right?
Yeah.
Changing habits. Changing habits can be singular, right? It doesn't have to, you can have a void in just that area and the rest of your life still looks perfectly fine or the way it was. You're just disrupting this one area. And that's why it's void in that moment. I just want to say that because we don't want to put it in a way that you're going to avoid and your entire life is up in shambles. That's not really what it is. But it's those identity ones and maybe the career ones too, I say, where the void seems to affect multiple areas of your life at one time.
I'm glad you pointed that out. And what comes up for
Yeah.
me is when you're a conscious creator or whatever you want to call someone who actively practices self-awareness, self-growth, whatever, right? You can do that. You can safely say, thank goodness I feel secure and stable in these areas of my life. I'm going to tinker with my diet. I'm going to tinker with my career now. You see? That's to your
Yep.
point, Gabby. But here's the flip side. When you're too stagnant, I believe the universe, soul, whatever, your higher self's going to be like, oh, girl, no. And here comes a hurricane. And your whole life's like,
yeah.
got a choice. And then you're like, see
Yep.
what I'm saying? That tends
Yep.
to be chaotic, reactive, fear-based for all the good reasons. I went through one, right? So it's like,
Yep.
keep that in mind when you have homeostasis in your life. That might be a great time to be like, yeah, let's play with some change. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think I'm glad you said that. When you're stagnant and when you're out of alignment. I just want to add the out of alignment piece to that.
Yeah, we're good, Gabby.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that's a great point to bring up.
Okay. Do you want me to go on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you ready to put the first point?
yeah, so we're still in, decoding what is the void. So here's your first point, y'all. Your nervous system may interpret, I can't even say that word, interpret quiet as danger. We were touching upon that in the intro. So here's a little bit more sustenance for that. So if you're accustomed to urgency, peace can feel strange. If you're accustomed to chasing, ooh, this one's a hard one. Receiving can feel passive. So a lot of us can work on our receiving game, yeah? And if you're used to solving problems, again, not a bad thing, having nothing to solve might be disorienting for your operating system. So just give yourself some grace. That one of my favorite teachers used to say, there's nothing to fix, change, or solve. Like, because we like to just, and it's almost like if you remember you're an eternal timeless being and you're in a finite body, you can just kind of zoom out and be like, okay, I can't get it all done. I can't fuck it up. And guess what? You actually get more space and clarity and ease when you play these mind hack games. It's like find the language and the wording for you so that you own, your mind. The mind is what wants to spiral out. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So this is why we create more busyness, distractions, activity. So just be, mindful of that for yourself. Like, I'm not the authority of you. Gabby's not the authority of you, right? And so anyway, questions you can ask yourself. You're like, what should I fix? What did I miss? What if this doesn't work? Those are normal questions the brain's going to try to do. Should I do something else? Should I check again? This absence of urgency, once you make that shift, can itself be activating for your nervous system. So give it some time to adjust. Here's my angle. Sometimes nothing's wrong, okay? Your mind just doesn't have a job.
Absolutely.
And the key line for me here is peace can feel like emptiness when your nervous system learned to recognize chaos as movement.
Yes. And we talked a last episode about the nervous system safety and its baseline, you know. That's a big one. Your nervous system may interpret if you haven't done the introspection, the nervous work, if you don't truly know yourself, if you're not self-aware or consciously practice self-awareness, most people quiet feels like danger. I would say the majority of people. Most not sit in silence. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I
It's
don't want to
crazy.
call out the archetype, but in my experience, it's people, they mean well and they want to give, but there's a underlying current of I'm not okay with myself, so I need to find purpose and identity through distraction and giving. And I really feel
Hmm.
the shift on the planet right now is getting us out of that, because that's a huge collective wound, I feel.
Well, I think a lot of us were groomed that way too, though. We
See?
were taught like as forms of niceties or what's the word I'm looking for? Not societal integration, but as social norms.
Yeah,
Those were taught us as social norms, right? Because I used to be that same way, but I was taught that it's a social norm. But I never wanted to do it. I'm like, but I don't sometimes I want to do it, but other times like I don't want to go out my way to do this. I don't want to do it. But it was a social norm,
I'm
right?
so glad you mentioned that. Like, I used to get a lot of
Oh.
anxiety. Like, I don't know if you all can relate to this, but like, for example, like some of the yoga trainings I did, they're like 200 hours and you have to like share space with people. And I'm already going through so much like learning, like uncovering shit. And then we're supposed to cook and clean together. I was like, I don't want to. I can barely handle myself. But everyone's like, you're not going to like help cut the potatoes. And I'm like, oh, no. That was just where my mind went. It's like,
No,
I
I don't want to.
I don't want to right now. Like, just leave me alone.
No, I don't have the capacity. I'm
Yeah,
not doing anything I don't want to anymore. No, I'm not doing it.
thank you. And it's not
I'm
personal.
not doing anything. I don't care if you think I'm a a-hole. I don't care. I know I have a good heart.
Thank you.
My reputation speaks for itself. I'm not doing it. No,
You know what?
I'm not going out my way for anybody.
Done forever, because that is the eternal message right there. Do what your heart tells
Yeah,
you. All right. Where am I,
yeah.
Gabby?
All right. So, okay. Now, next point that we're decoding is constantly looking for signs, is still looking for proof. Guilty.
Guilty.
Um, yeah, I think we've all done this. Okay, manifestation can become another form of hypervigilance, right? Repeating affirmations compulsively. I don't really do that. I say it and go. I just don't have the time to keep doing it. Checking for synchronicities. I don't check for it, but if it happens to be in my purview, I'm like, oh, let me look this up. Watching readings, searching for signs, monitoring another person, constantly asking, is this coming? At some point, the practice designed to create trust becomes evidence that the trust hasn't actually arrived, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference between enjoying synchronicity and requiring it for reassurance. Now, I wouldn't say that I enjoy secret. I require it for reassurance. I do. A lot of times, like synchronicities, is to keep me in a positive state,
Okay.
especially when everything around you is going haywire and people are intentionally sabotaging you.
Mm.
My situation's a lot different, so you know. Yeah, I do certain things to mind hack, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, but yeah, I can see how this could definitely be a form of hypervigilance. Were you gonna say something to this point before I
Oh,
close
I'm
up?
enjoying
Okay.
hearing you, because if I'm being real, I think I spent my whole time in my wellness world where, I was teaching other people. I think I was literally checking for manifestation hacks, because I'm like, I'm working incredibly hard, but the money's not here and I'm helping everyone else feel better.
Yeah. And that's the opposite. If you know anything about manifestation, working hard is not a universal law to draw in.
But
You
everyone
know?
is in this ecosystem amplifying it, especially in the Bay. It was hustle, hustle. You need more clients. You're only going to get more clients if you hire me. And it was just like,
Yeah.
yeah. So you have to
Yep.
like
Work
out of the race.
hard.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to
Yeah.
introspect. Like, is that true for me? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Go on, Gabby. Thank you.
All right. So what is my angle here for this one? So if you have to ask reality every 12 minutes whether reality hurt me, I'm not really trusting reality, right? I'm not trusting things to unfold, right?
Whew.
Looking for signs can become another way of saying, I still don't believe it unless something outside of me proves it.
Yeah.
You have to have that knowing internally. You have to do the work. So what it is making basically you just gotta make the decision, do the aligned actions, things that you can do within your control, and don't allow anything outside you to control you or control this decision or make you change your decision.
Mhm. Mhm. I feel good about that point. Did you get everything out that you wanted to?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, decode point number 3. Ooh, this is a good word, a buzzword. Inspired action and forced action feel different. Okay. So,
Mhm.
surrender does not mean doing nothing, it means no longer acting simply to relieve anxiety. That's a good one for I'm
That
anxious,
is.
wired, and I got to be like, all right, sit on your hand. Like, so forced action says, I need to make something happen. Inspired action says, this feels like the next move. You see, it feels like I feel it. I'm in alignment, right? Forced action can feel urgent, compulsive, fear driven, designed to create immediate evidence. Ooh, I like this. Inspired action can still require courage and effort, but underneath all of that, what do we dig into? Clarity over panic.
Yep.
I like that. So, my key line here is not every action is alignment. Sometimes action is just anxiety wearing a productivity costume. And I just wrote that because it's like it gave me pause because sometimes we can our current emotional state can feel like our forever home. Okay. And if you don't know this saying, RuPaul, I love it. He's like, we're all God in human drag.
Mm,
It just
I
helps
like
you.
that.
I do too. It just gives a little levity, and lightness always helps, right? The current state. If you can laugh or if you can just, again, zoom out. So I really like this point because not all action is going to yield, I don't know how to say it, like help your outcome.
Yield immediate. Yeah, not all action is going to yield the results.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that. So point number 4, right? Ordinary life is part of the manifestation. I think a lot of us, we decide, we make a choice, a decision, and we say, this is what we want our new life to look like. And then we immediately fantasize about what life looks like once we get there, right?
Yeah.
We forget that you got to take the baby steps to get from decision, a choice, to new life, right? So there's a strange trap in manifestation culture where the desired future becomes more important than life happening now.
Yes.
You are waiting for the relationship, waiting for the money, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the breakthrough, and waiting for the sign. And suddenly the present becomes a waiting room, right? But what if the ordinary isn't the obstacle, right? What if this is where life is actually happening? So go ahead, make breakfast, take the walk, do your work, call your friend, read the book, rest, laugh, go outside. Let ordinary life be enough, right? Because there's still space in between the decision and the
Mm,
arrival. I
mm,
think once people decide, they say the affirmation and then, or they make the decision and then they just poof, they're teleported to new life, right? But that's not how it happens. You still have to do the everyday, mundane, boring things. And this is where I think fitness is a great example, right? You
mm.
decide, for me, it was overcoming injury, but I'm not going to use overcoming injury. I'm going to say someone just starting out on their fitness journey. You want to lose 20 pounds, right?
Mhm.
You make the choice to lose 20 pounds. You have to put in the action steps to lose the 20 pounds, right? You have to physically work out, right? You have to physically make better choices with nutrition, right? You have to there's things that happen between the decision and the 20-pound loss,
Mm.
right? You don't just make a decision and poof, 20 pounds gone. That's
Yeah.
not how it happens. So you have to get comfortable with the boring things,
Ooh,
right?
that's a good one.
And people, yeah, it's the most relatable one because it's the one that a lot of the fitness people um can resonate with. Like I listen to a lot of the other fitness creators
Mhm.
and they all say the same thing. I thought I was the only one. I thought I had like some secret hack. No, we all do the same thing. We all eat the same food every week. We work out. We keep a routine. We all. It's boring. Fitness is boring. It is very boring. It's
Mm.
not fun, right? But it's
Okay.
not. It's
Wow.
not. So, but you do it because you want a certain outcome. So
Mm,
you have to get comfortable with the ordinary, right?
love that. And it reminds me of our,
Well, it's not boring. I enjoy fitness. It's just the things in between. I don't like meal prepping. I do it every week, but
yeah,
I don't like doing it, right?
because your
Um,
discipline as devotion comes across as you enjoy it.
no, I hate meal. I don't like cooking. I don't like cooking. I hate meal prepping. I'm just I'm just so used to doing it now. It's just no, but I hate it. Every Sunday I hate meal prepping.
That's
But I
amazing.
do it. It's just I don't hate it as much now, right? I've
Mm,
gotten into a routine. Yeah.
because you
But
probably
yeah.
have like autopilot because you've done it so much.
Yeah.
So it's not like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the reason when you do things over and over again and they become easier. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
People think I love meal prepping. No.
I
Just like I
thought
hate
you
running.
till it lasts till this morning.
No. You ask any fitness person, there is something in that fitness journey that they hate doing. I promise you. We do it because it's required to be done to get where we want. We don't
It's real talk.
necessarily enjoy it.
Real talk. So
Yeah.
y'all heard that.
Yeah.
Literally, before we
Yeah.
went live, how are you, Gabby? Oh, I meal prepped. And the way Gabby just explained, I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
she
Yeah.
said it's easy. It's her. And do you hear the truth? See?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Can I
No.
share
Yeah.
two things that came up with your amazing share? So
What came up?
I feel like, again, talking about the modern culture we live in, and it's awesome. Like we rush the outcome because look, we watch a movie and in 90 minutes to 120 minutes, montage moment, they went from this to that. Do you see? So you've been watching
Yep.
movies since how old? So things get solved, things get rescued and better in less than 2 hours. So what does that train us to think,
Mhm.
right? And then
Exactly.
in this, attention deficit culture, it's like, oh, we have to pare shit down so people pay attention. So it's like fast now. And AI is
Mhm.
contributing to that. That's a whole nother topic, not good or bad. But do you see how if you're not consciously rewiring your brain and staying in charge of how you're perceiving shit, you're gonna feel behind and swept up in comparison mode and all the things that actually keep you stuck.
Mhm.
So I'm just wanted to
You
point
do.
that out because
And that was a great example. And I think that's why most people don't have that's why so many people can't get out of the cycles or the loops is because they don't have any visual evidence of the an actual process and the time it takes.
the
We're
real
so
shit.
used to listening to we listen to the 5-minute song. We watched the hour and a half movie. We watched the interview, the 2-hour interview on Oprah, right? And the
Yep.
transformation happens within a short time span. And that's why so everybody feels behind because no one and I think Marlene and I, this is how we bonded. Me and Marlene and I, we bonded over the messy middle and how we were frustrated. There's nothing about the messy middle because no one tells you. You just get here and now you feel like a failure because everybody else figured it out in 2 hours,
Oh,
right?
me and
But
Marlena
no,
too. I love us. Okay.
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
we're gonna read all the comments, but right now Marlena says she sucks at losing weight. You're not alone. And having been a health
Most people do.
at Berkeley, we factored in and trained folks to know that there's a motivational wave, there's injuries, there's your kid gets sick, but how do you stay
Hmm.
on track? You might have lost 10 pounds, but gained 3. You know what I'm saying? Like people quit once they think they lost all momentum and then they go balls out back to their old routine. So
Yep. No.
have compassion
And
with
my thing,
you. Yeah.
yeah. I tell people all the time, fitness, you just got to keep at it. And I tell people like this, not perfectly, but intentionally. There are going to be days where you fall off. Wake up the next day and do fitness. Like, it's not like you miss one day and all the results that you've made, all the progress you've made thus far is irrelevant now. No, you wake
Mhm.
up the next day
Yeah.
and you just do fitness. Like, that's it.
You get
There's
back.
no secret trick.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just get back on it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a lifelong thing. Go ahead. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
my landlord said, I'm just tired.
Woo, girl. Okay. Heard.
Yeah.
I don't think you did the key line. Did you do the key line
Oh
on this?
no, so what's the key line here? Right. So
Mm,
if your future requires you to reject your present, you haven't created freedom, you create another waiting room.
mm.
Right. But the future your present should somewhat be in alignment working toward where you want your future. Remember we talked about action, right? You have to take action. You make the decision and you take inspired action. So
Yeah.
if your waiting room is just there, you're not doing anything, you don't really want what you say you want. How you
Oh,
gonna manifest? How you gonna manifest something you're not working towards,
Gabby done
right?
called you out. You don't really want it then.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't.
I'm calling myself out. I've done the same thing. I think every human being has been guilty of this before,
Oh,
right?
hell yeah. It's human.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. That was I think my favorite decode of all 15 episodes. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
This was a good the code.
Usually I just feel so heavy and dense because we have to break down shit and I want to be playful, but I liked our anecdotes. Thank y'all. That was fun.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to go to the comments now or shall we move into disrupt?
Oh no, let's go to the comments
Yeah.
before we disrupt. All right. Amplitudes are higher. I wanted Alexi to elaborate that because I
Oh,
don't know
yeah. I invite you to,
what they
Alexi.
mean by this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Void is obfuscate or centering though. Is that the question? It's a question mark.
Oh, those are big words. Obfuscate is usually but like blurred.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
centering. I think the void can be centering because that is the where you reorient, right?
Wow. It
I
could be
think
both.
that it's because it can be both.
Hey.
Oh, I like your perspective. Let me explain mine, you explain
Okay.
yours.
You go
So
first.
the reason I say it's centering is because once you make the decision, the aligned action that you take toward whatever you want to wherever you want to go,
Mm,
the aligned action should be in alignment to where your desired end state is. That's why I say I feel like it's centering.
okay.
Can you explain why you
Well,
say
I'm using context clues and like old
okay?
school vocabulary. I don't, if someone wants to define obfuscate, I thought it was to make it cloudy or unclear. Correct me if I'm
It
wrong.
can be. I can see how it can be because it's unfamiliar,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you're developing new habits, new
Mm-hmm.
processes, new lifestyle changes. Like everything's new. So I see how it can be because you're still like orient either way, right? Orient to where you're centering and then you're trying to orient around the blur
Yeah.
of life, right?
That's great. Thank you,
Because
Alexa,
you
for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good question
One
actually.
more thing on that, since last week's episode to me was very sensual, meaning sense based, like it was very weather and descriptive, right? So if we
Uh-huh.
look at the void as just weather, can you stay centered in the storm of life while things are unknown? Like imagine yourself back in the day where we didn't have any GPS and you're out in the middle of the ocean and you don't know where the fuck you are. You
Yeah.
have to have faith and you have to work with what you got. I don't know. That's just what's coming up for me.
I think it's person dependent,
Yes,
right?
always, always.
Yeah, I think it's person dependent.
Okay.
Alexi, that was a great question. It gave us something to ponder, and you got to see how we think in real time.
I
Because
love that. More, please.
yeah. Heather says the void is where the cat is neither alive or dead in Schrodinger's experiment. It is the present in between the thought and the creation. That is absolutely true.
I
In
love.
between the thought and the creation.
Thank you for
Yep.
the actual science. Appreciate you, Heather.
Yes. Heather says great perspective. Corey joined us.
Hi, Corey.
My Marlena said, I would personally love to not have to solve anything. That's when we were talking about problem solving. Heather says, I can see feeling peace as unnatural or as a problem to solve because I've always known chaos.
I
Well,
relate.
Heather, you stick with us. You stick with us. We're gonna reorient that baseline,
Or
that
what?
nervous system baseline.
Calibrate chaos. Calibrate chaos.
Yes, we can calibrate. We can definitely calibrate the chaos. Um. Oh, and then we could go to Marlena's questions. Okay, so we're all caught up.
Y'all caught up. Thank you. I personally love the energy from every week. So thank you for bringing it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go disrupt.
All right. So what are we challenging today, right? So I'm gonna just jump straight into the first point. Manifestation addiction, right?
Ooh, they should have AA meetings for
More
this.
oh, they need to have a meeting.
Ooh.
What's it called? What is the word I'm looking for? What do they call those? Psychosis? Psychosis?
Uh,
Spiritual psychosis?
oh my God. I think I need more
Spiritual
before.
psychosis? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, manifestation addiction. So, more techniques, more affirmations, more scripting, visualization, signs, readings, content, methods. At some point, manifestation practices can become another attempt to control uncertainty, right? The question becomes, are you practicing because it feels expansive? Because
Ooh,
you are terrified that if you stop thinking about what you want, it won't happen.
I'm
I
guilty of
used to think that. I used to think it had to be. Yeah, I thought. I know why I thought that way, but I used to think that it had to be in the forefront of your mind.
Can you help me
You,
with this? Because I think I'm literally struggling this in real time because I'm like, if I don't nurture it or water it, like I really have to take my hands off of it. So please, Gabby, help us.
yeah. I think so. I think that's what the aligned action comes in, right? I
Mm.
think once you start taking action toward whatever it is that you desire or want, you you bring it out of your head. You don't overthink about it because you see yourself making daily. You
Ah,
have daily habits. Like I did this today to work toward my goals. I'm gonna use the fitness thing for an example, right?
okay.
People that want to manifest their dream body, right? We're gonna call it manifesting your dream body. Every time you go to the gym, every time you lose the pound, every time you stick to the diet, you're checking off what you're working towards. So that's why I think it's the line. It's the same thing with anything you want, anything that you desire that you want to bring into fruition. I just think it's taking the aligned action to get there, right? And as
Mm,
long as you're taking the aligned action to get there, you're not anxious about it in your mind. There's
mm.
nothing to manifest. You're not constantly thinking about it because the satisfaction is going to come with the aligned action steps you take daily, weekly, monthly, or however long you need to take to get the way you want to go.
I
So I
love that.
think that's the trick.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to delve into this, but my brain goes to, my personal experience goes to, how do you do that in your constructive rest time? When you actually say, I'm resting. But then we've had episodes on this where the mind goes, that's where the mind, since you're not doing anything, can you allow yourself to
Mm,
rest? That's where my mind, because I've done the aligned action, but I'm an efficient ass person. This is why I can't work a 9 to 5, bitch, because I can do my job in an hour. And then I don't want to sit around looking stupid
Same,
shit. Like, fuck that.
same.
Did that for decades. No. So
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be like, and then they now monitor your computer and everything you do. And I'm like, bitch, I did the work, and I did it
yeah,
better than everyone here. No.
yeah.
So when I tell myself I'm resting, I'm still conditioned like, oh shit, I should be doing something.
But what
That's,
does rest look like for you? Well,
well,
so I used to be like you. So I designed something I call active rest, right?
yes.
Even on my gym days, my rest days are active rest days. So
Oh,
I would still walk or do yoga.
yeah.
Yoga's rest for you. Some may see that as doing something. I see yoga as rest. So I think rest is
Mm,
defined individually by the person, right? Walk
okay.
is resting to me. Yoga is resting to me. Yeah, reading a book is resting to me.
Thank you.
Watching TV is resting to me. So I think it's how we define rest.
Thank you so much. I love that. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. You want to take the code point too? You want me to just run through? I mean, the disrupt, or you want me to run through the
Key
disruptions?
line.
Okay.
Did you do your key line on one?
Oh, you shouldn't have to babysit your desire. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't.
Maybe you
I
didn't.
think I just went off script. No, I
Perfect.
went off script, I think.
Okay, that was awesome. So this one's a good
Yeah.
one. This point two kind of leads into what I was anticipating is stop digging up the seed.
Hmm.
We planted something and then we want to keep checking and we get compulsive about it. We check again, we check again, we change techniques maybe. We question if we planted it correctly. There's doubt. Okay, doubt is the biggest thing that f's up manifestation, by the way. And you questioned again, okay, so you dig it up to see if the roots were growing. But we need trust. Trust requires leaving the thing underground, trusting. And then we all have different religious spiritual beliefs. It's whatever you can tap into to allow nature to do the work, unseen
Hmm.
forces, whatever you believe. Like, we as a human being are not doing it alone. I had to figure this out for myself because my faith growing up was hinged upon a very, I don't even want to talk about the darkness of the thing I went through, but it messed up my faith, and I had to unpack that and reestablish my faith outside of that religion. So
Uh-huh.
I'm going back to that faith word, man, because there's a period where the growth is going to keep growing if you let it. it's gonna, before the evidence appears, and so we're back at square one again. Okay, you really can't beat a dead horse about this. It could be so simple. So the key line here is you can't keep digging up the seed and call it faith.
Yeah, you can't. You have to plant it and let it
Both
sprout.
can't exist.
Yep. Yep. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think that's a great one too. So the key line, yep, don't
Yeah.
dig up the seed, just let it sprout on its own.
Mm.
I believe in faith over faith. That's an
Huh.
interesting perspective.
Okay.
Explain what you mean by that, Marlene. I'm just intrigued. Not to. I think I believe in both.
Exactly. And then what comes up for me with fate is a lack of free will. And I don't believe in that. So I like the trifecta.
Yeah.
Maybe fate, free will, and faith, the three F's.
Okay. I think when I say I believe in fate, I think I mean like I think everybody's here to accomplish something, right? And I think fate is no matter what, you're gonna accomplish your thing.
Ooh.
Now, what at what capacity and what how it manifests may be different,
Yeah.
right? Right?
I like
So
that.
just say so say you're supposed to be an influencer. An
Okay.
influencer can be anything. You could be a local mayor. You could be someone with your own talk show. You can be a TikTok influencer. Your faith was to be an influencer. How it manifests is determined by your faith and your decisions. So I that's why I say I believe in both. Like I
Mm,
think people are fated to do certain things in life and
mm.
nothing can impact that, but the capacity in which they show up, the capacity in which it manifests is different.
I love
That's
that.
what I believe. I mean, I could be completely off base. I
Oh,
think a lot of random things, you know.
no, I
Yeah,
agree with that. Well said. Perfect. Mm, okay.
yeah.
That was awesome.
I have an Marlene said I have an understanding that fate is everything happens for a reason.
I agree with that.
Alexi always come. We gotta bring Alexi on the show. Alexi, this is like my second or third time seeing Alexi in the comments, and they always say something extremely profound, very
Okay.
profound. And I would love to have Alexi on the show. I think I said that last time Alexi was on the show, like 3 episodes ago, 3 or 4 episodes
Ooh,
ago,
that'd be amazing.
and I
Okay.
never heard from Alexi.
Oh, okay. Alexi says a leap of faith means you manifesting trust. That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Love that.
So Alexi, can you please DM
Yeah.
us so I can correspond with you? I would love to have you on the show. I love the way
Uh,
you think.
wow.
Um,
I just feel
yeah,
like I don't know where I'm at. I feel so different after hearing that line. That is so beautiful. Okay.
yeah.
Disruption point three. Are you ready?
So you ready? Yep. Boring is not bad.
Mm,
Boring is not bad. Boring is where results happen, right? Right? So
yeah.
transformation is often portrayed as dramatic. The breakthrough, the sign, the downloads, the synchronicities, massive shifts, right? But sometimes oftentimes, transformation looks remarkably boring, right? You stop texting them and then you make lunch. Then you set a boundary. And then we do laundry, right? You decide to change careers. And then you answer emails. You choose a new identity. You choose the new identity. And every day looks like every other day. That does not mean nothing changed, right?
Mm,
So I think a lot of times when we talk about transformation, we want it to be this big dramatic, like the movie example Nicolette used earlier, right? We look at these huge transformations that take place over a short period of time. So our perception, right, of time and how long an actual transformation takes is skewed or distorted
mhm.
because we see them make it happen in what we perceive to be a short amount of time. But in reality, that took years, sometimes decades to
Mhm.
take place, right? Because transformation happens in the everyday, mundane, boring tasks that you do day in and day out until it's a habit, until it's routine, until it's normal, until it's just who you are.
There you go.
That's how transformation happens.
There you
You
go.
keep doing a thing until that's who you are.
I love
That's
that.
it, right?
Wow.
Michael Jordan wasn't born an NBA superstar. Michael Jordan decided to start playing basketball at a young age. He
Ooh.
trained in basketball. He played. He even though he got rejected on his high school team, he continued to play. And then he went to college and he made some little noise. And then he got drafted. He continued to. If Michael Jordan would have stopped playing basketball in high school when he was cut from the team initially, he who today.
I
So
didn't.
that's what transformation looks like. Is making the decision despite what's going on outside you you just continue the everyday ordinary things, right?
Yeah,
And that's how
man.
you transform your own life. It's just showing up.
No, I didn't know that about Michael Jordan because the assumption was he's so good,
Yeah.
he's born that way. That's
No,
a
no. A
great.
lot of people aren't born, but even people that are born with certain gifts, everybody has a gift, right?
Right.
And I think it's easier to see athleticism, the athletic gift, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a gift. Um, but it's how you nurture that gift. If
Mm,
you don't, if Michael Jordan never nurtured his athleticism, he still wouldn't have grown up to be Michael Jordan.
exactly.
He still had to do the boring practices every day from childhood through making it into the NBA, right?
Such a good
It's
example.
still the
Again, you got to like give us a concrete example of even someone born with that
yeah.
gift has to do the inspired aligned action. I love that.
You still have to take the line action. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So my angle here. So maybe peace feels boring because nothing is demanding that you abandon yourself.
Mm.
Because we are a self abandonment is a learned behavior, especially in some cultures, right? And my key line here is boring might just be what peace feels like before your nervous system learns to enjoy it. I
Ooh.
love boring. I love boring. I was supposed to go to I was supposed to go somewhere last night and I was supposed to go to brunch today. And I'm just like, I kind of enjoy my boring life. I don't want to miss my morning run. I don't want to miss my gym workout. I don't want to do it. I've gotten so accustomed to my boring life and I don't want to do fun stuff because it's gonna knock me off my goals. I don't want to do it. Like
Love that you
and
said that.
and
Yeah.
so now my nervous system is just regulated like because I think I would have been more anxious out of whack if I went out late last night and missed my morning run. I'm like, I went out last night. Uh,
Mhm.
I spent all this money and then I didn't eat well and I missed my morning run and oh my god I'm gonna gain 20 pounds because I drank and like no that would have taken me out of alignment. So I prefer my boring. I
That's a
tell you, boring is
giver. Thank you for
yeah, boring just gets.
see.
I literally was thinking about that walking out the gym this morning. I'm like, I'm so happy I did not go out last night
Mhm.
because here it
Mhm.
is.
See, that's
Yeah,
oh, I mean, this is an age thing because in my 20s, I would do that. And then I
yeah.
finally made the transition to be like, no, because, we have an aging physical body and playing at night for some folks, like me especially, alcohol didn't feel better in my body. I didn't sleep well. I'm going to skip my workout, right? And that's a maturity thing and a choice thing. So I'm glad you brought that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Disruption point number 4. Going back to what we said in the intro, you don't need to manufacture movement. All right. So let's talk this out. If we feel humans are deeply uncomfortable with spaces where nothing appears to be happening, and this could be tied to systemic, conditioning. So what do? We manufacture movement. We reach out, we change direction, we make another plan, we force an answer, we return to something familiar to soothe that discomfort, unease, and unfamiliarity, right? We escape that sensation of waiting. So this is why some of us have a hard time with patience. It doesn't feel good if you haven't, worked through it like Gabbi. Gabbi's good with that. And now look at how much life force energy she has for the things that are important for her. That's what I'm getting from her. So movement and progress are not synonymous. Sometimes the most aligned thing you can do is to allow the decision you already made to stand. Let it cook, let it breathe. This is where trust is a practice in action. What about that? So the
I
key line,
like that.
yeah, key line here is not every quiet moment needs your intervention. And I love my quiet.
I love quiet. I've always loved quiet, but
Mhm.
people don't like me quiet. That's what I've come to find out. I'm telling you, these people were grown, interrupting my peace. It's like I've mastered something that they've never mastered because I've been like this most of my life.
Yeah, they're not comfortable because I don't know, I feel like they can't read you or anticipate you, so they get
But
scared.
why are you trying to read me? Go,
I
don't you
don't
have something to do? Like, don't you have something productive to do? You are old. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. You
know.
are old. Go do whatever old people do and leave me alone.
Talking shit about
I
the
will
new
never
generation. All
I will never understand it. I will never understand it.
right, I'm gonna read the architect's note this episode, okay?
Go ahead.
Systems need time to reorganize after a rule changes. If the old rule was I chase and the new rule is I allow reciprocity, there will be a period where the old system no longer operates, but the new pattern hasn't accumulated enough evidence to feel normal yet. That gap is not system failure. That gap is system reorganization. The mistake is assuming that because you cannot see or feel or you're not comfortable with the new structure yet, nothing's being built. Okay. So the key
I
disruption.
think that's important too. I think that's
I have
important.
something to add.
That no, that was important. Just because I think, just to reiterate, just because you don't see what's being built yet doesn't mean something isn't being constructed.
Yeah.
Right? You have to trust in the knowing, get comfortable in the ordinary day-to-day life, and get used to boring. Because what you assume is boring today won't be boring to you tomorrow because you're gonna see it's actually aligned action that's taking you toward where you want to go. I
I
just
like
want to
that.
throw that out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think you and I talked about this offline is, we want all the shiny things in the house, but we did not build the goddamn structure of the house. And so the house is going to
Nope.
collapse at any go back to the weather, strong wind force,
Yep.
aka a bill that took you off, right? Or an
Yep.
illness. Life's going to life, right?
You have to build the foundation. Because without the void is, oh yeah, we did talk about that. The void is where you build the foundation for the new, right?
Correct.
So yes, you're going through it, and yes, it feels disorienting. Yes, there are no books in the self-help space on the messy middle and how to navigate it, right? Marlene is gonna write the first book. I can't wait to buy it, right? There's no book to help you navigate it, right? And
Marlena.
so it feels disorienting, but that is the time, and it's imperative that you take this time during the void, or what Marlene and I call the messy middle, where
Mhm,
you build the foundation for your new life, right?
mhm.
That's where you build the foundation, and then once the foundation is there and it's laid, you start building the walls up for your
Yeah.
security around the foundation. And then once all that is set up, right? The walls, the security is set up, you
Yeah.
build the house to finalize everything. Once everything's finalized, your new life is here.
Hey. Okay.
It was boring. It was
Amazing.
boring, but it's
Yes.
here.
Okay. From direct experience, because I met Marlena when I was really in the messy middle. Like I didn't, I was just like in a way. And, with commitment, 2 steps forward, a tiny step here, fast forward 8 months later, whatever. I'm still in the void, but I'm building less. I think there's like staircases in the void, or I don't know how to delineate it, right? There's literally
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I'm at ground zero, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've been in the
Yeah.
messy middle for so fucking long, it feels like, that I feel like I'm at that upper echelon, if you will, that if I go back to the old because the new has not really come in the way I want it yet,
Yeah.
I could talk myself out of it. Oh snap, I need to get a 9 to 5 job. I've had those moments and I stop myself and I go, Nicolette, double down, double down. We do not go back. We do not go back. I have to have those conversations because I literally done built the house, but I'm waiting for like, I don't know, to sign the deed, to have the cute stuff come in, that analogy, right? And that
Yeah.
to me is the ultimate manifestation, like, oh, sitting with that.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough.
It
It could
is.
be disorienting. It could be very enticing to go backwards because
Yes.
you start to feel like a failure, especially if you still got old people around you. You should have never quit your job. You shouldn't
Yep.
did this, you shouldn't have did that.
How are you going to do it?
But
What do
they
you
know. They know deep down inside. They know you didn't make a mistake. They just mad what they it's really envy, right? When people
Oh,
do that, let's talk about that real quick.
yeah.
Let's
Oh,
talk about that real quick. When people do that, what they're really saying is, I'm jealous of you that you had the courage to do something I didn't have the courage to do. And I know if you stick around and see it through that you're gonna make it. And then I'm gonna really hate you because you have the courage to do it. You stuck it out and you made it. And I'm still somewhere miserable, hating my life because I didn't have courage.
I know.
That's really what they're
So
saying.
true, Gabby. It's so true. And I for them, but no one's gonna do it for you. You gotta do it yourself.
No.
So if
Yep.
I had a wish for the universe and humanity, I'm like, stop hating on people who did the thing you want to do because you can do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's so crazy how I just was thinking earlier today about how society is so backwards.
Mm,
Like how we have all this information like from a psychology standpoint, but we use it to tear people down
mm.
that's just trying to be better people. Like that's how we use it. I think that is so backwards.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you for
Yeah.
naming that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So our key disruption is the void isn't asking you to manifest harder. It's asking whether you trust yourself enough to stop recreating what you already chose to leave. That's just an example, or create, whatever. Additional key line, the space between choosing and receiving, isn't necessarily a problem to solve. Sometimes it's where your new identity, we love that word, go back to episode 1, becomes stable enough to hold what you asked for. And that in the neuroscience world, literally how people can't handle wealth. I've said this before. Someone wins a lottery, gone, because they can't hold it. Their nervous system can't hold it. They're not trained to hold it, whatever. So receiving and getting your nervous system ready, figure that out for yourself. It's an inside job and very individual. Okay.
It is, absolutely. Thank you for saying that. And thank you for using. I think money is the one most of us can identify with. It's a concept we all
It's
have.
deep.
An
Money
understanding
goes
of.
ones where you don't think you're worthy enough. So what you gonna do? You're not gonna attract it, and you're not gonna hold it. So that could be a whole nother show, because trust, the money thing.
Oh wow, we should bring an expert in on that one, because I don't
Yeah.
think I can. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be much of a co-host for that episode.
Well, my only experience is I went on retreats with experts to unpack my wound around money. And it's literally tied to what like the patriarchy and capitalism hates, like pleasure. So if you have a lot of shame or just worthiness issues, that's like the number one thing. But yeah, if anyone out there knows a money expert who connects with us in the way we talk, or that'd be great. Putting that.
Yeah, it would be great to have them on the episode.
This is so exciting. So Gabby, take us to the recalibration.
All right, so here we are at the end of the episode again. We like to leave you guys with something. We decode a topic, we disrupt said topic, and then we hand you guys something so that you can practice, right? So this week's recalibration question is, what are you currently demanding evidence, right? What have you already decided but continuing to check on? Is it a relationship, a career move, a creative project, money, a boundary, a version of yourself you decided to become? And what would happen if you allow this to stand? So the takeaway, notice the difference this week between responding and interfering. Before taking action, ask yourself, am I doing this because something genuinely requires my attention, or because uncertainty is making me uncomfortable? You do not have to obey every urge to create movement. So action, this is how you're going to action it. Choose one decision you already made, something you know, something you already chosen. For the next 7 days, so for the next week until next Sunday, right? Stop renegotiating it. You can take inspired action when it appears. You can respond to new information, but you do not have to reopen the decision simply because the external world hasn't reflected it yet. Stand on it.
Woo!
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So the bonus practice, make ordinary life sacred again. For 1 day, stop looking for signs. Don't monitor, don't test, don't ask whether it's working. Instead, participate fully in life already happening. Eat something you love, move your body, do your work, make something. Talk to someone you enjoy, rest, know this beauty. Let the present stop being evidence you evaluate and become someone you actually live. Final reflection. Maybe the void was never empty, right? Maybe it only felt empty because you were accustomed to filling every silence with effort. You don't need another technique, another sign. You don't need to think about your desire harder. Maybe the next stage of manifestation is what? Maturity. So choose. Act when action is yours. Rest when it isn't. Respond to what arrives and allow reality room to answer. The key line here, the quiet isn't evidence that nothing is happening. It may be evidence that you finally stopped interrupting what is. You ready to close it out, Nicolette? Or do you have anything to add?
I don't
This
know.
was your episode. Do you have any words of wisdom to leave us?
I appreciate you, because the only thing I can share is I share, like, I don't want to say it's oversharing, because I believe in sharing, because if it helps one person, then I feel like yay, because it can help them feel seen or understood, or not have to go through all the shit I've gone through, like So what comes up for me is like, imagine like I'm in the Bay Area, like trying to heal myself. That was the reason why I started my wellness business, because I thought I was broken and needed to heal myself from giving everything I had in me to 10 years of working in nonprofits, because I wanted to make a difference that way. So my
Okay.
system got depressed, literally, like bad news depressed, because my inner critic was like, you have 2 degrees and you didn't make it, you know, you should be ascending. You should be like moving up in the nonprofit world. And then my spirit was like, this is not right for you. So I took, you know, time to listen. It wasn't pretty because I was depressed instead of, you know, positive about my thoughts. I was ashamed. But if I look at it in retrospect, it was isolation, which I needed to hear myself.
Mhm.
And then I went to Asia. I got to go to my country, which I've never been to. And I got to go to Japan. And I
Oh,
was like,
nice.
it was really nice. And then I was like,
I love Asia.
yeah. And it felt like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's not so serious, right? Like I'm trying to fix America, y'all. Like me, like just one person. I'm
I
like,
love Asia.
girl, Tokyo is so much fun. Harajuku. Like I was just like, I came back like, okay, I'm gonna learn all the things. I'm gonna heal myself through Reiki and acupressure, right? And so my point in telling you this is you don't have to do anything unless you want to. Like I did that as an incessant need to prove my worth and earn certifications, which helped me in the long run because I had more tools to help people with. But my point with this is manifestation doesn't have to be something you attack or fixate your life on. Like Gabbi says, like I lost sight of living my life because I lived in an area that was so fast and so, and I'm not judging the Bay. I love the Bay, but it was like produce, be the best, and like the best. And I was just caught up in that. And I just feel like if we come back to your center, I don't know, life can be ordinarily boring and sacred and juicy. And then when you're regulated, bringing it back to neuroscience and grounded, imagine what can come to you. That we weren't meant to suffer or struggle. I feel like that was, I don't even want to get into the conspiracy theory side of that just now, but just remember your power, that we don't have to suffer and struggle. Things can be easy. That's my 2 cents.
Absolutely.
That invitation,
Yeah,
Gabbi.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that story too, because you didn't have to do that.
I know. I'm like, it's my story, but if it can help one person not go down those long paths of pain, don't do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's close this out. So
All right.
there's a term, and if you know it, you know it. We're not going to go into it today. Maybe living in the end isn't walking around pretending your future has already arrived. Maybe it's simply refusing to spend your now, your today, panicking because it hasn't.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, that was a tough pill to swallow.
I know. And then
Yeah, I like that.
side of that, if you are in that state, then you're just going to create more panic and you're not going to get the result you want. So that's a hack.
Because your nervous system's out of whack.
Correct.
All right. And then maybe the void isn't asking you to do more. Maybe it's asking whether you can stay anchored long enough to discover what happens when you stop forcing the next chapter. Whoo, guilty of that. That's why you make me say it. That's why you make me say it.
I'm guilty too, but I kind of want to do it.
That is so messed up.
Okay, my friends.
Yeah.
We appreciate each and every one of you on the live and the replay. This is Decode Disrupt.
All right, we're Insight Interruption.
All right. Peace.